Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, so from the last couple of vlogs I've uploaded, um, there was a part that I knew that I had actually missed out. Um, I think the honest to God reason why that my son's dad decided to take me to court was over because I had him paying me child support. And the reason why, and before any of y'all start jumping down my throat, just hear me out on this. Reason why I put him on child support when he was because the 2 years that he had took off to go clear his head, he left me with an outstanding bill on our son's actual daycare contract, which is like over, I believe at the time it was like over $5,000. He left me with outstanding bills because my son, whether or not my son's dad wants to admit this, my son, when he was in my care and my custody, my son was in and out of the hospital because of asthma. He almost died on me twice, and that ain't no lie at all. Plus, my son was it just seemed like every time I turned around, my son was ungodly sick, and it wasn't because of me. My son, when I had him, he was born kind of late, but when I had to stay in the hospital, they suspected that my son had jaundice. And all of us moms that have had kids know that when your baby is suspected of having jaundice, they hold your baby in the hospital just to make sure. And at the time, I had insurance, which I didn't have to be on edge about that, but with my son's dad paying me support, it was because when he decided to frolic and go be for God knows how long at the time, I was paying for everything out of pocket: school, doctor bills, hospital bills, clothes, diapers, wipes, everything you could possibly imagine that a baby at the time had to have. Plus, I was paying for every birthday and everything else. My son's dad left, I thought I said 6 months old. My son's dad actually took off when he was actually 2. And I was raising my son by myself. My grandparents had to step up and help me. I didn't ask them to. They offered to. They offered to step up. Oh, excuse me. And help me with my kid because I was a mom going to college, going to work, working long hours at night, coming home mentally exhausted while his dad was out frolicking with other bitches at the time, which I know that is a true, actual known fact. My son's dad, in the beginning, when he was starting to pay his child support, was bitching and moaning and groaning because he was a convicted convict. Well, he is a convicted convict. He couldn't hold a job. When the jobs found out about all of his charges, they tossed him. Then he complained, oh, well, I didn't have a job. I can't get a job. And I can't hold a job because of my charges. And that's why he got slapped with child support. That's one reason why. And my family thought it wasn't okay for me to have to foot the entire actual bill. I raised my son by myself. I was a single mother dealing with school, me being in college, doctors, hospitals, medical information. Every time I turned around, it seemed like my son was in the hospital. And it wasn't because of me. My son had undeveloped issues with his medical health. And during that time, when I was doing this by myself, my son had also developed another issue. And we had to go through Cincinnati Children's Hospital. And I had to literally, and I shit you not, I had to literally beg him to show up at all the appointments, come to all the actual appointments. And he was like, oh, well, I don't have him, so why the hell should I? Dude, because you're the father of this kid. You signed your name on the birth certificate, said horrible things when I was laying on the operating table, told people what you said before I even went into the hospital, and when I found out, and when I came out, and you denied it, and everything else. Now, mind you, when me and my son's dad had our child, my family always told him that there was a open door with them because they wasn't going to hold back. They told him that if he wanted to come be with his kid, come see his kid, come pick his kid up, there wouldn't be any issues as long as him and I got along. Well, in the beginning, before the stepmom came into the picture, we were, during that time that he was out frolicking, he was texting me, blowing me up with calls, telling me that he wants to be a dad. He felt bad, that like he shouldn't have left, and everything else. During that time, yes, I will admit, I had a lot of anger build up because I was a first-time mom, a single mother, raising a child on my own without the help of the parent, which to me, I don't know y'all's situations out there in the world, but when you go through a traumatic experience like I have, you have a right to tell your story, and you have a right to step up and step out to tell what honestly happened. And when he decided to start coming back around, I told him, because he came back to school, because at the time, me and him, we were in the same college. I got him into college thinking he was going to be a cop, because that's what he was going towards, and everything else. He came to me one day at school, and we were back in the process of talking now. Came to me and said, look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done what I did. You know, I want to be back with you. I want to take care of our child, and this and this and that. Will you give me a chance to be a dad? So I told him, okay, look, for the sake of our son, I'm willing to give you a chance, which I did. But at that time, I had also started actually dating a guy. But I told him ahead of time. I said, I don't know if my boyfriend would like it, but he's going to have to get over it. And so we agreed at that time that we were going to be mutual parents. Basically meaning that there wasn't going to be any attorneys involved, no court, no nothing. So we worked out a mutual agreement that he would have to earn his visitation every weekend. So I told him, I said, if you and I can talk about the child and get along and try, then you can get him. Which I was testing him, which I had every right to. And I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, well, why the hell did you do it? Why the hell did you do this? Before y'all Karens and cons and whatever start coming at me, listen to this video. So he got my son every weekend, which I didn't have a problem with. And we were doing this. We started co-parenting then. Without courts, without anybody telling us, you know, this, that, yada, yada, yada. So we started to be co-parenting. He came to my house, picked up my kid every single weekend. My parents always had an open door with him, because my parents have always told him, this is your child that you had with her, basically me. We're not going to hold you back. You can come and be with your kid. Which my parents have never, ever stopped him. And my parents told him only on one condition. You and her, when you exchange on and off, y'all are kosher, you're cool, y'all can talk, do God knows what, you know, talk about the kid, that's fine. So everything started going good in the beginning. And so I thought, you know, we're working towards making our family work, that we're going to actually be together as, you know, mom and dad. And to my knowledge, I was happy about it. But I guess to him, he decided to go behind my back. And what I mean by go behind my back, I found out more information that goes along with this. And I will do this in another actual vlog. So this is vlog number 6.